It's Bob Hartley. Lesson 4. Who are you? What are you? Are you a hope reformer? Or are you like Thoreau said, that most men live lives of quiet desperation and then die? That's not you. You're a hope reformer. My son, my marvelous comrades. So let's look at what a hope reformer looks like. And let me just open with this quote. This quote of Thomas Fuller. He said, "Great hopes," and I would add, "in God, make great men." I'm going to add a couple of these quotes. "Refusal to hope is nothing more than a decision to die. Hope reformers choose to hope." It says, "Hope is the parent of faith." There's something strong that has tremendous stature about being one that maintains their hope. And when you say a person or a situation is hopeless, as a hope reformer, which we're about to define for our lesson, so you can ask questions about if you are this and how do you become this. But when you say a situation or person is hopeless, you're slamming the door in the face of God. So you've got to avoid that room of disappointment, discouragement, where that taste settles in your mouth of hopelessness. Cannot go there. So we're taking steps. We've looked at the spiral notebook and writing in the spiral notebook just your hope, possibilities, goals, values. We've looked at for a couple of weeks what is hope, defining it, and I have pages more that I drilled down in on looking at what hope is so that it recodes my mind and my spirit. As I'm fed the 24-hour bad news, hopeless news, I want to be fed the 24-hour hope news from our God. And now we're taking this step. Next lesson, if I had 52 weeks to talk to you and that was it, I would spend a lot of time on your identity. Your core identity is the fabric you live life out of. So what is a hope reformer? Well, let me define by example. There was a time in my life where I was really discouraged. And I was helping lead in a ministry, and I was sent to a little town in Arkansas to set up a large event. We were going to have a retreat there. So I went there with a couple of friends, and I went up on a hill to have a devotion time, and I needed to move from hopelessness to hope. So I was there a few hours, and the sun came up, and the sun came up just about the time that hope broke forth in my soul. So I looked at this place that I'd parked my car in the night going out to pray, and I realized this was a tremendous, most beautiful view. It was an extraordinary view because the sun hit the hills, it was glistening, and all these different colors of the dew, and I just said, this is the best view in town. And I was speaking of what had happened in my soul, what it was before me. And I hear a voice, this thought, that no, it's not the best view in town. The best view in town's down the hill. So I drive down the hill, and there's this little house, and it's a great story. I'm going to briefly tell you. But it had a water wheel and a stone house, and it was a real pleasant view, but nothing compared to the view up on the top of the hill. So I said in my heart, it's a pleasant view. But the best view in town, the most majestic, was up the hill. And I hear this thought, and I believe it was the voice of God, just comes springing through me. It was a voice that was not my own. No, this is the best view in town. And I kind of like, Lord, why? And he said, because the people, this is the thought I got, in that little house make it so. And a Proverbs 14:14 reality hit me, that a good man or a woman is satisfied from inside. That if they're filled with hope, this expectation, a confident expectation in God, that they win no matter what in all the areas of their life, that they really have hopes and promises in God, then they move forward with such a bounce in their step. So I go back to the hotel where we were staying, and I tell my buddies this story, and I said I'm moving out of the prison of hopelessness into a prison of hope, a place that I want to be. And I said, I'm valuing and living through hope and hope in God. And I said, and I want to be a hope reformer. That one it comes, that living water of hope from the inside out, then I want to be one that sees more with my eyes closed than my eyes open. That 2 Corinthians 4:18. It says, that which you see is temporal. That which is unseen is eternal. And I want to be able to be like Moses in Exodus 26:30, that I get a vision on the mountain, and we're doing this together, of hope, fulfillment, helping 3 million people come into their promises like Moses. And then I go down to the valley and I'm unmoved because I'm a hope reformer. The vision moves from the inside out, and I'm not changed or challenged by an orgy or by them building a golden calf, and that's what was going on. So I tell my buddies this story, and I'm just exploding with the thoughts that I'm sharing from you. And then we go to leave the hotel, and we see this older couple, and they're playing their guitar over by the pool, and they're singing love songs to Jesus. And so I said, hey, let's find out their story. So we go over there, we find out that this elderly couple would care for people in a nursing home, and they just were so buoyant and radiant with just the goodness of God and this perspective that I never tasted of before. It just was the best view. Best view of life, best view of their business. They had a little pottery business, and people came in there and got enriched in hope. They had the best view of, down there was a passion play with 3 million people a year that came to it, and they were the sources for that staff of hope. And so it went on, just every area. The political people had come to them because they had such hope. It was just amazing. We start to leave, and I thought, this is what hope reformers look like. And we start to leave, and I say, hey, hang on to my buddies. I said, let's go back and ask them a question. We go back. I said, where do you live? They said, well, you go up to the next road. I said, well, let me finish it. You turn left, go down the house. There's this little stone house with the water wheel. And they said, yeah. I said, that's your house. They said, that's our house. I said, you got the best view in town, don't you? And they said, oh, we got the best view in town. Those were hope reformers. Those who had made a decision, and they had challenges, but they had made a decision to not just see the present circumstance, but to look for an answer in Him. That's what a hope reformer is. Anybody can look at the present challenge, but to look for an answer in Him. God is gracing you, us, to be those ones that just dig a little deeper, dig our own wells, and go for a hope that's greater. For brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, there's never a loss of hope. We're never without hope. So let me ask you to ask the questions about being a hope reformer. Just what do you want to look like these older people as a hope reformer? What type of hope reformer? And we'll develop it more in the next lesson. So, love you. Lord bless them. And let them be those ones. The great hope, make great men and women deposited in them. Call forth the hope reformers and grace them to have this confident expectation in you in all areas and arenas of life, because they have a future and hope. In Jesus' name, bless you.